Is it really true that AI tools are bad for you? What's your motivation for using an AI tool? AI summaries are a very bad idea if you're trying to improve your academic writing. You have no business using AI tools over things that you know nothing about. Do you actually know if this is true, if it is sensible, if it is correct, if it is accurate? You might never be able to recover from that, depending on what penalties the university is going to impose. If it's not broken, don't fix it. So the AI companies, of course, they're selling a tool. So they have all these wonderful narratives about the wonderful things that AI can do for you. They're also recruiting people like myself to try to sell the same story to you. I have a growing number of messages in my mailbox from companies that are trying to get me to sell you AI tools, right? But because I don't believe that they are valuable, I don't think that at this moment they are helpful for your intellectual development, I've simply refused to engage. So I can tell you, as someone who actually stands to lose a lot out of this, I could be making money by just answering how AI can help you improve your writing. I would rather tell you it's not helping you in the intellectual sense. So this video that I have on YouTube talks about how you can know if you are developing AI dependency. And it starts with things like, what's your motivation for using an AI tool, right? So if you had an assignment and it's 8 p.m. now and it's due at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and you haven't done anything, and you reach for an AI tool to try to get that assignment done in a short space of time, you are already compromising yourself in serious ways. And usually when you write those assignments in such a short time frame, you will be able to get something that you can turn in, but you're most likely to have academic integrity issues because the Turnitin system and other detectors that universities use are going to likely be able to pick up that this was an AI-generated text. And then you're going to have to explain what happened, and you might never be able to recover from that, depending on what penalties the university is going to impose, right? And then I also, in that video, say to people, if you generate AI output, doesn't matter whether you become really great at prompt engineering and it produced something for you and you have no way of evaluating it. Do you actually know if this is true, if it is sensible, if it is correct, if it is accurate? Then put those AI tools away. You have no business using AI tools over things that you know nothing about. So in my experience, these AI tools actually benefit people who already have reached a certain level of expertise. So if I look at AI generated text, for example, I can already see that this is a fake reference. If I'm reading about a topic that is linked to my own research field, I can say no way that these two authors have written something together because I know the literature in my field. If it makes an argument that this is the main discourse within a particular field, I can look at it and say, no, this is not true. This is not the main discourse because I have a record of what actually happens. So if you have no way of evaluating the text that you are reading that is generated by AI on your behalf, put that thing away and educate yourself. Then maybe when you have educated yourself to a certain extent, then it's going to be a valuable pal, right? You can use it to sort of bounce off ideas, to challenge, sometimes even test your own knowledge, because then that also helps. And if you would not do this, this is also one of the ways that people end up having academic integrity issues with their universities. The fake references are something that universities now take seriously because it's one of the serious flaws with a lot of these AI tools. They still hallucinate. So they will give you a reference that is not real. They will make it appear to be real. And if this reference cannot be found anywhere, then you're going to have to explain how you wound up with such a reference, referenced in the proper format and everything, but nowhere to be found. So these are things that students don't yet have an insight into. And I think as educators, we also don't talk about them enough. At the end of the day, I think what will be a nice conversation for us to have is to understand, the different ways in which these tools can help or hinder your progress in your academic journey. And then you can make judgment calls for yourself about whether it's an appropriate time or an appropriate moment to use those tools and have an understanding about whether they are helping you or they are compromising you in some ways. Then I think it will be a more level playing field, and then there will be a better understanding of what goes on there. I sometimes also talk to students who are really keen on using AI. Then I say, okay, here is one very simple way of knowing if you can use an AI tool or not. So with academic writing, we have what we are going to call value-adding processes. These processes, as part of your academic process, are so important for you being able to develop or deliver a decent piece of work at the end of the day, right? But then we also have what we will call non-value adding processes, right? You're not going to earn points for doing those things. Then those are the things that you can delegate to AI. But what are those things? Well, reading, you have to read yourself, and you have to read starting with the abstract. Don't reach for an AI summary on an article, because the hallucination is even also going to affect the accuracy sometimes of what that summary tells you. But abstracts are actually designed to give you all the important information that you need in something like between 100 and 250 words. And then you're going to be able to also make a mental note of what was in those papers, and whether you don't keep them in the first instance, you might remember to go back to them at a later stage. So don't delegate your reading to AI. AI summaries are a very bad idea if you're trying to improve your academic writing, because reading is like collecting Lego blocks that you're going to reconfigure over your academic lifetime to build a lot of wonderful and fantastic things. So the more Legos that you collect, the more connections that you're going to be able to make between different topics and different subjects and different modules leading to the dissertation. And then the better the outcome that you're going to get out of that. So if there was one thing that I think we needed to fix when it comes to how we approach academic writing and university education, is that we just don't read enough anymore. You do need to be a reader. A good writer is a good reader. It's true in any context, and academia is no exception. So for that, it means that you can't delegate the reading to AI tools. Well, do you want maybe to use it to help to search for the relevant literature? You could. I don't see any problem there, because, again, there are no points for finding the relevant literature, right? At least not directly. But at the same time, we have a lot of well-established search engines that do the job well, that were designed exactly for this purpose, and they have been used for decades, and they have refined a lot of the ways in which they do things. I once saw a video of someone who was talking about, is it really true that AI tools are bad for you? And their response was, oh, the people who think AI tools are bad are old-fashioned. Then they said, let me demonstrate to you how you can use AI tools. So they went to some AI tool, I don't even know the name, and then they tried to search for topics related to a particular subject. And then it returned 1.5 million results. And they said, see, I have all these results now. And I was thinking, no way. I don't want to search for relevant literature related to a research paper or a dissertation, and I end up with 1.5 million papers. What am I going to do with 1.5 million papers? There are search engines that I can use with the right operators and with the right key terms and with the right filters for the relevant fields or disciplines that I'm interested in. And it's going to return to me at least something like 600 papers. That's already a lot. 1.5 million papers. Where are you going to sort through that? How are you going to sort through that, right? So you have to understand like some of these things that we do and why we do them and why they are important and why some of the already well-established tools that we have got are going to do an extremely good job, because it took decades to develop those tools and they work perfectly fine. So my simple principle is that if it's not broken, don't fix it.